In our news package this afternoon, Governor Bueno enjoins youth to utilize government's economic plans for increased productivity. State governments resolves boundary dispute in Okobo local government area. Funeral arrangements of former Commissioner for Women Affairs Obong Emesin released as burial holds Thursday in Etina. Akwa United Uyo return produces favorable results, gets maximum points. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good afternoon to you and welcome to Akbc 405 News at noon. I am Blessing Isongoyo. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Bueno has charged youth of the state to key into the administration's economic growth plans and scale up their capacity to participate at the bigger space to boost productivity. The governor gave the charge Sunday during a special Thanksgiving service held by Akbc Senatorial District youth leaders and stakeholders forum at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, 5 Queen Street, Akbc local government area.
The youth leaders thanked God for Governor Rumano's victories in both the gubernatorial election and subsequent legal challenges and for his administration's impressive achievements since taking office. Commending youths of Akbc Senatorial District for their support before, during and after the general elections, Governor Rumano urged them to look beyond politics and take active roles in his administration's economic policies to boost productivity. Represented by the Dean of Commissioners and Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Samonde Uko, the governor thanked the youth leaders for their faith in God, sued support for their rights agenda, and restated his commitment to delivering dividends of democracy.
I want to use this opportunity to pray for the youth leaders, that God will protect them, that God will guide them, that God will make them a shining example for others. I will continue to pray for leadership. Because if leaders don't do well, we cannot also speak well. Things are very difficult in the country. Our dear governor is doing a lot. Recently, we heard of the law passed, bulk purchase, where the government is trying to buy food stuff and then bring the price down to the public. That is a very laudable idea that the government of Akwa Ibom State is doing.
Addressing the gathering, the convener, Prince Akpanikam, noted that the event was necessary to return glory to the Almighty God for finding Pastor Rumano worthy of the people's mandate. He restated the resolve of the youths of the district to sustain their support for their rights agenda.
Thank God for His Excellency, the governor. Our senatorial district is a very different senatorial district from any other senatorial district. A very different one. And sincerely speaking, even the church would have been ashamed today if an architect had been a governor, a lawyer had been a governor, a banker had been a governor, then a pastor, to do with it. For His Excellency, Pastor Pastor.
Various leaders, including the member representing a Sinodum State constituency, Prince Ukbong Akpabio, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Matters, Mr. Iniakpan, used the opportunity to enumerate the Governor's achievements.
First, I want to thank the leadership of the youth for putting up this service. God took us through, the process. And then today we are leaders.
youth knowing God. Everything starts from God and ends with God. So I want to say thank you. Your Excellency, thank you for giving us this wonderful crops of youth.
I stand today to check. Why did he be a youth? I got just one person. Why would he be I got to wait there? But 20 minutes, they can come.
The service on the theme, Our Generation Arises with Thanksgiving, featured song ministration and prayers for the governor, as well as government and people of Akwa Ibom State.
The state government has resolved the age-long boundary dispute between Amamong and Okobedi communities in Okobo local government area. A peace accord was formalized with the planting of trees to delineate the two hitherto warring communities. Michael Brown covered the peace initiative for Akbc News. That report is presented in our studios.
Representing the Deputy Governor, Senator Okone Yarinyi, at the ceremony, Special Assistant to the Governor on Boundary Matters, Elder Kokonufi, commended the Transition Committee Chairman, Engineer George Henshaw, for working tirelessly to ensure that the age-long conflict between the two communities has been put to an end. She emphasized Pastor Moino's commitment to developing rural areas, adding that this cannot be achieved where there is no peace and tranquility. The Deputy Governor thanked the Peace Committee for its proactive steps and selflessness in settling the dispute amicably and prayed the settlement to be permanent. While responding to the appeal by former Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Chief Peter Linus Umo, for the road to be tarred in order for more development to take off in the area, Senator Yarinyi assured the reconciled communities of the governor's interest in their welfare.
So for Amamong and it's ready to sit together, to agree to sit together. I want to thank you very much because of my duty. There are several of them. Because they know any day you do the same from this stage. Now that this settlement has come, I pray that it will be permanent. Amen.
In his remarks, the chairman of Okobo Local Government Transition Committee, Engineer George Henshaw, thanked God for making the peace settlement a reality. Engineer Henshaw described Pastor Moino as a man of peace and applauded him for his leadership roles in maintaining peace in the state in line with his Arise agenda. He thanked the Deputy Governor for being part of the peace deal as well as the Peace Accord Committee for his initiative in settling the disputes.
Let me respectfully thank Our Excellency for being here to seal this peace accord. Because in Murabang I've been very sure to no man like forever. Amen. Generation upon generation, and we do because but can never be restored.
Also speaking, the paramount ruler of Okobo local government, Obongita Okokon, who doubles as the chairman, Peace Committee, thanked the state government for sending a representative to witness the event, assuring that traditionally there will be no dispute again between the two communities.
And we are very happy for things we have achieved with them. The good Okoro community and Amami, they have agreed and the Peace Committee set up.
Earlier, representatives of village heads in Amamong and Okobedi community, Chief Joseph Eded and Chief Remisius Anso, pledged to ensure that peace is restored to the two communities, since it is impossible for development to thrive during war.
A New York-based journalist, Comrade Etim Bugidiong, has been sworn in as the president of the Postgraduate Students' Union of the University of Uyo. Comrade Idiong, a PhD candidate of Business and Organizational Communication, is the third female to be sworn in as president of the union. She was inaugurated alongside other elected members at a ceremony in the former Senate Council chambers of the University of Uyo Town campus. Edema Sangayed reports.
Others inaugurated include Daniel Udo, Vice President, Idiong Mpoikot, Secretary, Aniebet Jeremiah, Assistant Secretary, Udwood Willie, Assistant General Secretary, Isaac Effium, Treasurer, Iniobong Owem, Director of Academics and Research, Fabian, Director of Women Affairs, Pius Eche, Director of Sports and Socials, Fabian Ugwaje, Auditor, Akanimo Otang, Director of Information, and David Ekbobio, Director of Welfare. In her inaugural speech, Comrade Dion, a mass communication graduate from the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, promised to raise the bar of leadership in postgraduate students' union and promote the interest and welfare of members. She expressed gratitude to the Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Basi Antia, and postgraduate students for the confidence reposed in her, promising not to disappoint them. The Postgraduate Students Union President promised to run a responsible, responsive, and intellectually oriented association and build upon the legacies of her predecessors.
I sincerely thank each and every one of you for believing in me and supporting me all the way through. Your confidence in me is encouraging and motivating. I pledge to put forth endless efforts to represent the needs of a diverse students' union.
In his farewell speech, the outgone president, Comrade Didion Ochibon, described his tenure as a remarkable journey, thanking members for their support.
Together we have demonstrated the power of collaboration and the impacts that a dedicated group of individuals can have on the society. As I pass the torch to my successor, I am filled with optimism for the future of our postgraduate community.
The Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Basi Antia, urged the students to assist in solving state, local, and national issues with their research.
Every country looks up to the universities, especially the postgraduate program, the way it is run to solve problems of that country.
In a congratulatory message, the Dean, School of Communication and Media Studies, Professor Peter Isu, tasked the new Postgraduate Students Union Executive on teamwork and inclusiveness.
Achieve for your colleagues. In our time, we achieve for our colleagues. Most of the things you are seeing are the result of what we fought for. We used to get grants for graduate students.
Also speaking, the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Etefia Kanem, expressed confidence in the capacity of the new executive to deliver on their mandate and pledged support to them. The inauguration was witnessed by stakeholders, including the representative of the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idansede Tiebet, Personal Assistant to Governor on Student Affairs, Comrade Wisdom Emmanuel, State Chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Comrade Amos Etuk, the State President, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGE, Mrs. Anesinewe, and the Chairman, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Comrade Manasseh Omoite.
Head former Women Affairs and Social Welfare Commissioner Obong Emesin goes home Thursday. Akwa United regain winning spirit will return to your defeat Eyimba 3-1. There's and more after the short break.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's all man and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we stay. It's all man and you know. No matter where we stay, we are one. We are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
So good to know that you're still there. Funeral arrangements of a former commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare and a one-time state director of the National Youth Service Corps, Obongeme Tienesen, have been released by her family. Obongeme Tienesen was a deaconess of Akwa Ibom Church and died January 2 this year. at the age of 87. Justice Udosora brings you details.
According to a program of activities released by her family and signed by her husband, the secretary to the state government in the first civilian administration in Akwa Ibom, and one-time deputy vice chancellor, University of Uyo, Professor Etienne Essien, February 26 to March 4 had been designated for condolence visits to the bereaved family. The remains of the former State Executive Council member will pass through Ikorodobia, Etinan, before lying in state at a family compound 19 Stadium Road, Etinan Town, on Thursday, 7th March, between 9 and 9:30 a.m. The body of Obong Eme Essien will be taken to Etinan Local Government Secretariat grounds at 10 a.m. for a funeral service to be conducted by Kwaibo Church, John Keck Square, Etinan Town. Her remains will later be interred at a family compound 19 Stadium Road, Etinan Town. The late Obong Eme Etienne Essien was a certificated nurse in 1960 from the School of Nursing, University College Hospital, Ibadan, and later upgraded in 1964 in England with the Central Midwives Board Certificate and a registered sick children's nurse qualification in 1971. In furtherance of her medical career, Deaconess Eme Essien obtained a master's degree in clinical epidemiology and biostatistics in Canada in 1980, an MPhil degree in medical sociology, University of Lagos in 1988. Her nursing career took her across many hospitals in Nigeria, UK, and Canada, where she also lectured and supervised clinical students until she took up appointment with the National Youth Service Corps and rose to the position of State Director between 1992 and 1997. She was later called upon to serve her state by the Obong Victor Tar administration as Commissioner, Women Affairs and Social Welfare, where she integrated grassroots women into the programs of government and inspired them to be productive, a vision she carried even as deaconess of Kwaibo Church among members and the widows. She is survived by her husband, Professor Etienne Essien, a professor of pharmaceutical and medicinal chemistry of international reckoning, children, grandchildren, in-laws, siblings, and a host of relatives, whom include Very Reverend Imo Emmanuel, a doctor of pharmacy and a doctor of pharmacology, Professor Emmanuel Odo, and Deaconess Ime Eseme Essien, Honorary Special Advisor to the Governor on Humanitarian Affairs. Justice Udosoro, Akbc News.
Football fans of Akwa United Football Club are pleased with the return of their team to the nest of champions, as they believe it is their venue for victory. This belief was proven on Sunday as Akwa United defeated the Yimba of Aba 3-1 in a Week 23 encounter of Nest of Champions. Akwa United's David Philip opened scoring in the 7th minute, with Suleiman Sane doubling the lead in the 51st minute. Eyimba's Chijoke Mbaoma reduced the deficit in the 75th minute, while Akwa United's Suleiman Sane got his brace in 90 plus 5 minutes to give Akwa United a well-deserved 3-1 victory. In other matches, Kano Pillars lost 0-1 at home to Abia Warriors, while Doma United played a scoreless draw with the Sporting Lagos. Sunshine Stars Sunday held host Heartland to a 1-1 draw, while it was a 2-0 victory for Lobi and Plateau United over Katsina United and Bendel Insurance. Enugu Rangers traveled to Mina to defeat hosts Niger Tornadoes 2-0. Akwa United now has 24 points, with goal difference separating it from 24 points Niger Tornadoes in the relegation zone. That's our package for this afternoon, but before we go, we take another look at the top stories. Governor Minor has urged the youth of the state to key into his administration's growth plans in order to boost their productivity. He was speaking during a Thanksgiving service by Ikodekbene Senatorial District leaders and stakeholders forum held at Ikodekbene on Sunday. Peace has returned to disputing Amamong and Okobedi communities in Okobo over land as the State Boundary Committee has delineated them favorably. Deputy Governor Senator Akone Yarenya assured them of tarring the road bordering both communities. And former NYC Director and Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare Obonge Mason will be buried Thursday in Etinan. The program of activities made public indicates that Obonge Mason died at 87 years. Aqua United's return to Nest of Champions produced victory to the Promise Keepers, which has eluded the side in recent games. They defeated Eyimba 3-1 to stay 17th on the league table. That's the news. Thank you so much for watching and do have a blessed day. I am Blessing. It's on you.